pretty much got the offer from Evolve, and that's what made me stop like going around Ring of Honor, because you can't work for them once you sign with somebody else. And Evolve offered first, so, and I hadn't done an Evolve camp since fucking WrestleMania 2016, so they hit me up. That was cool. Like, that made me feel good. Gabe went out of his way and contacted me rather than me being like, hey, I want to work for you guys, because I always wanted to be an ROH guy. But when Evolve came knocking, I saw the opportunity. I knew the reputation Evolve had up to that point, like a lot of stale shows, and like, by stale shows I mean low draw, like good cards, high quality matches, but just people weren't watching for some reason. But it started picking up, and now I feel like Evolve has become technically what FCW used to be.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said about Evolve. I mean, we saw Roderick Strong versus Drew Galloway in a cage in front of, I think it was like 200 people in a firehouse. So You're right. They had great talent, great shows, but they didn't have that extra, I guess, next level to get the popularity. And I mean, it's clearly changed now. In between, you spent a lot of time, and you still do spend a lot of time at AAW in Chicago. For fans in the Northeast, they're not familiar with AAW. I mean, the talent over there is just David Starr, yourself, Eddie Kingston, Darby Allin, ACH. The list goes on and on. What is it about AAW, for those who aren't familiar with the promotion, that really attracts so many big names and they have such great cards?
It's special because Danny likes his cards to be unique, because there's 1,000 promotions running in Chicago, just like there is in New York City. But you've got those special places in New York that only book certain talent, and they don't bring in everybody that's working everywhere else. And that's kind of how AAW is. They only bring in the top guys, the special talent. And if you work other places, they're probably not going to use you, because it's that, like, it's not cliquey, but Danny Daniels knows what he's doing in terms of selling tickets. Like, why are you going to come to his show if you're seeing these guys at this other show that's a block away fucking a week ago? You know what I mean? So he's always been real good about booking guys right when they start coming up, like he did with me and Jake. He helped us out a lot. He was one of the first guys to ever buy me a plane ticket. It took me 2 years of fucking driving from Texas to Chicago every other weekend.
Yeah. And they have, I mean, the cards are stacked top to bottom. I guess it feels like a good a time as any. If you want to check out the AAW shows for 30 days free, powerslam.tv, use the app and use our promo code all night long, and you get the first 30 days free. Check out all the AAW shows on there. They have such a crazy library. It's you won't find a bad show, and I think that's very rare. So you said you got the offer out of Evolve. I believe you made your debut against AR Fox. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I got my job because of AR Fox. But, like, I wrestled 2 nights in a row, and Gabe messaged me because I flew myself up from Texas. That was the deal. Like, hey, we want to give you a shot. We're going to put you on 2 matches, singles, both nights. You just got to get yourself here. And I was like, cool. So I did. And then that motherfucker, he didn't swindle me, but he carnied me pretty much. I've already called him out on this shit, so it's funny. He was like, hey, Sal didn't see either of your matches, and he can't believe that you stole the show 2 nights in a row, so we need you to do it again. Can you come back up in February? And I was just like, God damn it, yes. And I did it. I did it again, and then they were like, okay, there's no denying it. You want a contract? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Well, I mean, you quickly in Evolve, almost a cult-like following. I was there at Evolve 125. It was you and Higuchi, Kazusada.
Oh, my God.
The opening match, and you actually passed away in front of the crowd. You died that night. It was the crowd was just absolutely insane. That was one of the best matches to open the show. That really kind of kicked off WrestleMania weekend. That was the Thursday show, I think it was. Why do you think the fans can just relate to you so well? What is it about either the way yourself, the way you wrestle, your style?
It's because I'm an average-looking motherfucker, and I'm relatable. Because I'm just, I feel like I'll say what the other people want to say, essentially, because I don't have a filter. I mean, I'm not going to say fucking stupid bullshit, but I'm going to speak my mind and say how I feel, and if I think something's not right, I'm going to tell you. But It's I don't let people write promos for me. That's another thing. I speak. Whatever comes out is what you're getting. But I think a lot of it has to do with that I just go out there and get the fuck beat out of me and just keep fighting, because that's what I've done my whole life, essentially. As cliche as that is, it's true.
I mean, the Higuchi match itself, I've never seen anybody hit that hard, in person. That was,
that hurt.
yeah, I mean, that hurt, but it got, like you said, it got the crowd on its feet. And, to your point, you don't like promos written for you, kind of that whole Eddie Kingston school of thought, right? You say what's on your mind and take it for what it is.
Absolutely.
Does it have anything to do with the Tiger Army walkout song that I think was the best in the business until they made you change it?
Damn, they did. They made us go. They sent all the Evolved talent fucking WWE recycled music that hasn't been used, and we all had to pick our WWE entrance music, essentially. And the one I picked is what I got. And the Tiger Army song, I wanted it to stick so bad because Nick 13, the singer of Tiger Army, and the band both followed me on Twitter, and I was going to message them and be like, yo, is there any way I can like buy the rights to this for like 6 months or something? Like, what's the deal? But they were just like, no, we can't do that. So.
Oh, that's unfortunate because, I mean, the first time I heard that song, I was like, dude, that's Tiger Army. And that was, yeah, they follow you on Twitter. So, I mean, listen, if nothing else, Nick 13 follows you, you got to be doing something right.
I know. I wrestled at Seth Rollins and Merrick Brave's promotion last weekend, and Merrick Brave fucking like tripped out that my music was Tiger Army because apparently that's his favorite band.
Dude, I mean, listen, the Lone Star, it all lines up. It definitely fits the character.
I thought so too.
Maybe I could send an angry, well, not an angry, like an exclamation-filled tweet to the WWE. You let me know what I have to do.
No, don't get me in trouble.
No, I'm just kidding. Don't do a thing. I don't want to spoil a good thing.
I'll get myself in trouble. Y'all can just enjoy it.
You talked a little bit earlier about the Evolve 10th anniversary show on the network and how the entire locker room and Gabe knows Paul Heyman very well, and Paul Heyman really knows how to quote unquote rally the troops. I can only imagine the speech that Gabe gave, leading up to that weekend.
Oh yeah, it was super emotional. Everything about it was just awesome. It's a lot of information I can't share because it's personal stuff for the whole locker room. But it was a big celebration, honestly, and like getting to share that moment with guys like Eddie and AR Fox who have done so much for professional wrestling, and then get to be there with them. Like it just meant the world. It was awesome.
Yeah, and does that change anything for you? Like going to the show, or at least like how did they give you more or less guidelines of what to say, what to do, or was it just kind of business as usual on a bigger stage with new cameras?
We had to do rehearsals for the opening segment of the show and stuff like 30 fucking times, but other than that, it was normal. Other than just the fucking overbearing stress of a million people potentially end up watching it.
Yeah, no big deal. It's probably 1,000 in the house, 200,000 at home.
Yeah.
Now, or is there any talk of future Evolve shows on the network, or is that something that can't be discussed as of yet?
Well, if I knew, I wouldn't be able to discuss it, but from what I understand and coming from me, which means nothing, I'm pretty sure there's going to be more because we were in the top 10 most viewed on the WWE network. I think we still are. Like the Evolve special it was doing so well. Like when Gabe went to fucking Takeover, everybody was like congratulating him and fucking patting him on the back and shit. So I'm pretty sure. What I think they're going to do is like a tier system is what I've been hearing about, where they're going to have like Progress and WXW and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if those guys get on the network at some point, and then maybe they'll do like a WWE Network Plus where you can pay $5 extra a month and get fucking all the other bullshit. But who knows? I have no idea.
Quickly, compared to what people are paying $70 a month for one pay-per-view. So even if it's $20 a month and you get the Progress, you get the Evolve, I think it's definitely a worthwhile investment. And like we just talked about earlier, you have Cassius Ohno coming to Evolve. You have Walter coming to Evolve. At 132, you and Matt Riddle main evented in just, a classic, and you guys beat the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Who else from NXT would you like to see come over, and who would you like to face that you haven't yet, maybe?
Fucking Albert or ACH or Jordan Miles, whatever the fuck you want to call
I
him.
thought you meant like Prince Albert. I was like, oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I haven't heard his name in a while.
Oh shit, that'd be sick. But no, I was talking about Jordan Miles would be sick. Or Cameron Grimes, Isaiah, Swerve, Scott, all the guys that pretty much went through Evolve except for Trevor, and because he didn't go through Evolve. But who else? Fuck Keith Lee. I've wrestled him before, but it'd be tight at Evolve. There's a lot of fucking people on NXT that I could just sit here and go off. Like Punishment Martinez would be sick. Like I could go on all day. But yeah, bring Matt Riddle back. Let me wrestle him again.
Can we get, how about you versus Goldberg? Is that something out of the question?
God damn, imagine how that would go. It would be quicker than a Dolph match at SummerSlam.
Oh, man. Listen, Evolve 135, Evolve 136 this weekend. At Evolve 135, you're featured in the Evolution's Edge tournament. It's a 4-way elimination match against Retro AG, who definitely has changed his tune in recent weeks.
Okay.
Brandon Taggart and Daniel Garcia. What is the winner? Like, I know the winner of this match faces the winner of the other match on Evolve 136. So what can we expect from Evolve this weekend? I mean, they're just putting names on the show. They're stacking it with talent. What are these shows going to look like this weekend?
It's actually, you keep saying this weekend. And
next weekend.
Yeah, no, I was freaking out in my brain. I was like, oh my God, am I supposed to catch a flight in the morning?
No.
But yeah, it's looking pretty fucking cool, man, honestly, especially with that Walter Cassius-Ohno announcement. Y'all broke that news to me. Like, I had no idea. But, God, it'd be a dream to wrestle either one of those dudes. I'm honestly, personally looking forward to wrestling around with Garcia because I've seen him work before, but I've never been in there with him, and I like his style. And then that Brandon Taggart dude came out of nowhere, and like, I remember when he did the seminar and everybody was just kind of looking at him like, who's this guy? And then he fucking killed it. So, of course, it's going to be cool that he's in there, too. And then Anthony Green, I'm just going to fuck his world up.
Little payback for the last match you guys had.
Yeah, I fucking lost by DQ because he tried to hit me with a chair, and I got that motherfucker from him and started whipping his ass with it in front of the ref. Just fuck it.
It was a hell of a match, though. And Brandon Taggart kind of reminds me of like a 2019 Raven, almost with the flannel. So it's a good look.
No, it's cool.
Well, listen, we talked about it earlier. ProWrestlingTees.com, Curt Stallion. Go buy some shirts on there. They go to a good cause, and they're awesome video game-inspired T-shirts. And if you're looking to get to Evolve 135 or Evolve 136, the good people at Evolve gave us a coupon code. If you use the code TAPOUT, you get 10% off your entire purchase. So, if you guys are thinking about going to the show, you have Curt Stallion on there. You've got Anthony Green. Now you've got Cassius-Ohno. You've got Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa doing a meet and greet. Get to the show. Or if you can't, always WWN Live. Subscribe to it. It's the best $9.99 a guy can spend per month. And Curt, listen, where can we follow you? Social media? Where do you update yourself? Where can all the fans see what's going on?
Imagine if I didn't like video games and I had all these video game inspired T-shirts. That'd be weird, huh? But anyway,
just a marketing strategy. And
at Curt Stallion on Twitter with a C, Curt_Stallion on Instagram, and Curt the Lone Star Stallion on Facebook. That's pretty much where I do all my postings, but mainly you can keep up with me mostly on Twitter just because. And if you want to book me, it's CurtStallion@gmail. Wink, wink.
That's the biggest one. CurtStallion@gmail.com for all of your booking needs. Curt, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you in person next weekend at Evolve 136.
Looking forward to it, guys. Come up and shake my hand.
Absolutely, we'll do. Buy your beer afterwards. Deal?
Hell yeah.
Hell yes. So it for another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast, and we're tapping out.